reduces deficits in a broader, more equitable manner than the discretionary spending caps that we currently have under the Budget Control Act or sequestration? 90 seconds.
Yes, I mean, we've been doing that, and I've already demonstrated a record of that. I opposed, and one of my top priorities was opposing the defense sequester cuts, which were not only crushing our local economy, but were devastating to our national security. So yes, I'm willing to work on all of these things. We are already doing that. You talk about ideological things. My opponent has already said she supports $1 trillion in taxes, and she has said Congress needs to do whatever Hillary Clinton wants. I don't think you need a Congress that's a rubber stamp for whatever Hillary Clinton wants. I'm going to be, and I've already demonstrated 7 years worth of being a member that works with you, and I'm willing to stand up against my own party, as I did when they were going after federal employees. I said, I'm not going to vote for a budget if they're going after federal employees in the way they were. So they knew that they had to come and work and negotiate with me. I worked with my colleagues on a bipartisan basis because I think it's very important that our federal employees are part of the solution, as they are. When we were in the State House, we went and asked our state agency people to work with us to find savings, and we said, we'll give you a bonus if you can find places to save money. And over several years, we were able to save all kinds of money and give our employees a bonus and let them be part of the solution. So I've already had a demonstrated record of working to get everybody together, get them to the table. That's why I've been part of that governing majority, whether it was 75 Republicans or 100, and get a budget passed.
Thank you. Ms. Bennett, 90 seconds.
Yes, I am for a Simpson Bowles type plan to reduce our debt. We cannot pass on the level of national debt to our children and grandchildren. This is one of the reasons I'm running. My candidacy is about the future. This is about the world that we leave our children. And one of the main things that we're doing is leaving them a lot of debt. We have to fix this. I am for Simpson Bowles. What I'm not for is gimmicks like sequestration that only come about when you can't pass a budget and when you play these zero-sum games. I'm also not for government shutdowns. It's bad for our economy, it's bad for business, and it's especially bad for Northern Virginia. Business needs certainty, and what that means is they need the government to set the rules so they know how they can invest in their companies. You and I understand that. Unfortunately, the Congresswoman just doesn't. These games that we're playing in Congress are the worst thing for our businesses. We need certainty. We need to pass legislation like comprehensive immigration reform that will fix our broken immigration system. We need bills like a major infrastructure funding source that will invest in our infrastructure, create jobs in the short run, and then fund infrastructure improvements and improve our economy.
Thank you. Congresswoman Comstock.
Well, we've already started on tax reform. When we passed the $600 billion tax relief package, it had that permanent R&D tax credit. And I should mention, when I was in the State House, the last bill that I had that Governor McAuliffe signed was having an R&D tax credit in Virginia. That helps our growth economy. We also need to have that certainty. That's what we did in that tax bill, too, last December. It has permanent expensing for small businesses. It has a permanent child tax credit because we know the cost of kids are pretty permanent, right? I introduced a bill to also double the child tax credit. I also am co-sponsoring a bill that would increase the child care tax credit because it hasn't really been indexed, I think, since my children were young. So we need to do that, and $1 trillion in tax increases is not the way you're going to provide certainty to businesses. When I go around and visit all these businesses, a number of which she mentioned, I've already been there talking, what I hear is, thank you for providing us certainty, but you've got to give us more. And what Democrats are coming in doing, unfortunately, this year, not all of them, because we have some who work on a bipartisan basis with us, is they're trying to add more tax increases.
Thank you. Ms. Bennett, there are an